Well, good evening. How you doing
Evening,
tonight?
Clay. I'm good, man. I'm just blocking one of these fake profiles here that started following us on Facebook.
Man, we've been getting slammed with them.
Yeah, we got a lot of hot women that follow us that I got to block.
Evidently, they can't see us for real.
That's because they're not real.
Yeah, I guess them AI bots just aren't that smart.
No, they're not, right?
Right.
Oh,
Hey,
funny.
well, Kevin's joining us from Pennsylvania. Man, you got one crappy legislature out there. I was just reading some of the stuff
Yeah.
since the Democrats took your guys' house. Wow. It's full commie. There's no doubt about that. Full commie.
Yeah. Yeah.
One shot. Good to see you. He says, fire at will. Hey, Dan, good to have you on. I'm guessing it was just as hot for you guys over there at Dickinson as well. And of course, Eric's on here. He said he did a little backflips with some prairie dogs today. Of course, Braden, he's listening in, our adopted son, we kind of call him. So, yeah, good to see everybody here tonight. Wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just hot enough that people are.
Yeah, it's not hot down here where I'm at, Clay. I'm at my studio, if you want to call it that. It's here in the basement. It's actually kind of cold down here, so
it's nice in my basement too.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
So yeah, we got a good show coming tonight, Clay, and I think we're going to go over our poll results, and then we got a cardinal who's asking Americans to voluntarily forego their guns and their rights. And we always hear about assault weapons, assault rifles, right, Clay? Well, we're going to go to the birth of the assault rifle, the Sturmgewehr 44. And then, of course, our two-way bullet points, and then Clay's COMMIE Companies. We got a new intro for that, and then we got the happy ending. So I know it's nice out, and if anybody's listening, tune in. We appreciate that. I think you hopefully not going to disappoint you in it. I don't think we're going to, but
no. All right, well, let's get her started here.
Yeah.
So, the Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And yes, and I tell you, that's just every day I turn on the news and I just get pissed because of things I see. And that Second Amendment's pretty important. So you want to fight for it everywhere you can.
It is. It's the most important one there is, in my opinion. So you lose that. Well, what did we say the other day, Clay? 4%. We're only 4% of the
world. And that's us. Pretty well. There's a few in there, but us primarily that have.
There's a few small countries that you have some decent gun rates. I mean, some are getting better for sure, but as of right now, we're the Second Amendment though.
Yeah, we're the only ones that have an actual guaranteed right. The way it's laid out in those 27 words is in our U.S. Constitution. There is no other country that has it in there. So yeah. We are very blessed to be living in this country.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just hope that people don't let it go. So.
Love it.
All righty. Well, let's roll into
Clayton.
this. We got some poll results, so I'm going to bring them up. Make sure I got the right one.
It's in a red kind of night. I got my red koozie. We got the red lettering, my red cap from Leon 28701.
Red, red was the commie color of Russia, but I got my Colorado.
Anyway. All right.
I'm going to roll these polls. So I had one loaded, but I went and checked it right before the show, and it had changed a little bit. So I got a brand new one.
Okay.
This was as of 6:25, so it isn't that old. That'd have been Central Time. It says, what is your preferred concealed carry weapon caliber? Of course, that was you put up 5 answers. I thought they were perfect. You got the general calibers, and of course, then you've got other.
I kind of went off this from last week. Jay Titan was kind of asking about it, and I figured that'd be a good poll question.
Yeah, I like it.
Dougie figures YouTube just scrubbed our feed, but
really,
that's what he said. Go ahead and go on with it, Clay. I'm gonna check it.
All right, so the first choice was 45 caliber. That comes in at 62%, or sorry, 16%. I'm sorry, 40 caliber, which I like my 40. That comes in at 10%. 9mm is by far the top choice here tonight, and that comes in at 57%. The 357 38 caliber comes in at 9%, and then other post in the comments was 8%. And I was looking at some of those comments. We had 44 mag was listed in there, 10mm. If I remember right, someone even put 454. So I didn't look at that was Eric or not. I know that's one of his favorites, but there was a lot of different things in there, but not as many as I thought there would be. Someone did mention 5.7 by 28. There was a couple people that had that, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. I can tell you right now, the 9mm was by far the number one choice here on our poll.
Yep. So it's confirmed. YouTube wiped us out for content for whatever reason. But
wow.
Yep. Yep. I got that from a few people. So.
So guys, hit Facebook, and for some reason tonight I went and made sure that I made it so we can put it on the website tonight. Go to our website, www.gunsinthE701.com. It is actually on there tonight. So
yeah. So yeah, I'm getting people texting me right now. Yeah, I'll just go. Clay, you want to talk about this poll? I'll respond to some of these texts here.
Yeah. So like I said, the poll come out that was resoundingly the 9mm as far as what is your favorite concealed carry. And I'm guessing part of that has to do with the multitude of firearms that are available in a 9mm. I mean, you can just about get anything you want, whether it's a Glock, a Springfield, you name it, you can probably get one in a 9mm. Ammo is readily available. It's very concealable. So that makes it probably the number one choice. 357 and 38. And also the 380. I did see 380 was mentioned a few times in the comments. And yeah, I do like a 380. I've got a 380 here as well. Nice little round. I like it. The 45. Don't get me wrong. I like a good 45, but most of the time they're kind of a heavier, bigger gun to accommodate that, especially if you're carrying a 1911. Not the most practical concealed gun. The 40. I have a 40. I got a Smith and a Glock. I prefer my Smith. I do enjoy carrying that. I like my 10mm, and I can tell you that mine. If I'm not carrying my little 22 mag that you always see me carrying, my go-to is going to be that 10mm. I just like the way that gun handles it, and I'm pretty accurate with it. I've shot that a lot, so it's my go-to gun as far as that goes. So yeah, I don't know. What's your favorite one? Do you have a favorite?
Oh, I'm definitely a 9mm guy.
Okay.
I've always been in 9mm. So like you said, it dominated. Which I figured it would. It's the lung blower. It's the weapon of war caliber, which we're going to hit on here a little bit later. Yeah, I mean, handguns. I've always been like I said, 9mm, low recoil. The modern day bullets, they'll do the job perfectly on anything. I mean, if I'm just going full metal jackets, let's just say if all we had is full metal jackets, I'd probably carry a 45 then.
Yep. I like 45s. Don't get me wrong. I like the 45 ACP. It's a great round. It really is.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I'm 9mm center fire. That's all. I'm never. I can tell you right now, I'm never going to own a 45. I'm never going to own a 40. Maybe a 38. I wouldn't mind doing that.
I know you want. I just know you want a 10mm.
Yeah. I might get. I won't care. 10mm. A smaller caliber like that with a bigger cartridge, you get so much recoil. I think the first round you'd be pretty accurate, but if I had to run a string off on that, the recoil on that smaller handgun, that larger cartridge would probably keep me off target. Where even a 9 throws me off a little bit with the smaller handgun, but full size, man. I'll definitely take a full size 10mm. I loved it.
So not to interrupt, I just did check. The website is up and running. So if you guys want to watch on the website, just head over to gunsinthE701.com. Yep. I don't know why I did that tonight. I went ahead and made sure we could put it on there tonight.
Okay. I'm gonna mute myself here, Clay, so I can do something quick if you want to.
Okay. Well, yeah, I can.
All right. Thanks, YouTube, you D-bags.
Oh, I tell you what, that doesn't surprise me. Remember, we said this may happen one of these days, and here it is. So don't worry, we'll get it uploaded later. I'll just this records when we're doing every episode. So I'm just going to move right into our next segment here, and this is that Cardinal Tobin. He's a Catholic cardinal, and I would imagine this is kind of going in lockstep. I'm not a Catholic, and I'm not trying to offend anybody that is, but I'm going to tell you right now, the Pope, he's nuts. Okay, I can't stand your guys' Pope. I think he's a commie. I've thought that since the day he was installed as the Pope. And he's just proven it time and time again. I would imagine, I would bet in some internal conversations, this is probably coming from the head. That's my own analogy of it. But he basically made the comment. He said, hey, people must voluntarily give up their guns in order to build a free society. And here's his actual statement. I honestly believe it is the best thing we can do to change the culture of violence that threatens us today. Let's voluntarily set aside our rights in order to witness the truth that only peace and never violence is the way to build a free society that is lived concretely in our homes, our neighborhoods, our communities, our nation, and our world. Now, and I'm just going to break that down. So he's willing to set aside his rights to have all these things. Is he also willing to set aside then the right in the First Amendment protected freedom of speech, religion? How about that one? That was probably pretty important, I would think, to him. The First Amendment right to basically worship how you praise or how you feel. And I would imagine that, according to what he said, maybe everybody should set aside their rights, their First Amendment right to the freedom of religion, in order to practice maybe Catholicism, because then everybody be on the same page. I mean, if he's going to set aside one right, why not another? And that's kind of the way I look at it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll get into a little later what this guy's all about down the story here, Clay. I'm sorry, catch me up to where you're at here on the story.
I didn't go too far yet. I read what the man said about giving up your rights and being a voluntary set aside, and how that's the only way to achieve peace. I mean, in his mind, the only way to achieve peace, and he equates it to giving up your rights, and I disagree. And you know what? I'd rather have dangerous freedom any day. Any day.
Oh, absolutely. So did you get to his recent, the plea he made in his recent letter here?
No, I didn't go that. I just got into the very first couple.
Okay, so yeah, I'll hit on this letter a little bit here. He says, in a recent letter, Tobin made the plea, pray for an end to all instances of violence, where he calls on community leaders and Catholic bishops, himself included, to call for a synodal effort, which kind of is like the governing body of the Catholic Church. If I'm wrong, correct me, to actively resist gun violence. He proposed a threefold process that includes prayer and work, advocacy, and voluntary self-restraint from the Second Amendment. Restraining myself from the Second Amendment isn't going to have anything to do with gun violence, because I'm not anything but restraining myself from it now, and I'm not doing anything to break the law, Clay. So what good did that do?
You and me neither. Neither of us are. It will do absolutely nothing. Again, it's always our fault. Those of us who follow the law are law-abiding. For some reason, it's up to us to give up everything we have just to bring this false sense of security and peace to people. And of course, I don't buy into it, never have. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm not ever going to restrain from the Second Amendment.
Oh, Travis, we should just, all guns should be banned, he says.
Yeah, Travis.
Good to see you're back, buddy. So he published his letter May 26th, and it was the article goes on here from crux.com where I got mine from, Clay. Mm-hmm. I think Marty sent us this. It was better than the one I was looking at, but there's a call amid a spate of mass shootings in recent months. May 30th marked the 150th day of 223, over which time there have been 263 mass shootings. Well, they changed the meaning of mass shootings too, right, Clayton?
All the time.
Right. And most of these things are gang related. They're gang shootings. Gang boys are going to get tough after the club closes or whatever. They got a grudge against somebody and they go and do this. And so incidents with 4 more people shot, it says, that have led to 327 deaths. And like I said, go look these up. Most of these are, and in fact, Clay, right, and they're going to be in inner cities, almost 100% of these. Because real mass shootings, Clay, like you and I and most people would call a mass shooting, would be like some evil son of a buck or a crazy person, mentally ill person going to a mall or a school or a business and shooting it up, right?
Right.
That total of dead doesn't even come close a year to 327. No. And I'm not saying that doesn't mean anything. You damn right it means something when somebody kills anybody like that, an innocent person. But they're trying to equate everything, like I said, gang related, crime related, these inner city crime infested neighborhoods. They're trying to relate that to everything as a mass shooting and make it like it's this big epidemic everywhere in the country. Clay, right. I don't recall. When was the last time we had a mass shooting here before they even called it? I think east of Bismarck. What's his name there? Killed his mom and his dad and his sister and brother or something. I can't remember what his name was. He's in the penitentiary out here now. But why would North Dakota have this big problem then?
Because it isn't us. I mean, as you and I both know, maybe the last one was when the federal government, maybe they committed one. Gordon Call, that ring a bell to anybody? I'd say they committed a mass shooting, but of course then it was okay because they were the government.
Yeah, if they want to do it, it's not a problem, right?
So hey, I got to tell everybody, I found out something with our channel.
Okay.
The reason it's been nixed, but it's not. By the way, they didn't give us a mark. They just said that we violated some content featuring firearms. You know what they tagged? They have our intro. That's what they're showing me, is it's the intro. YouTube does not allow the live stream showing someone holding, handling, or transporting a firearm. Wow.
Holding or handling?
Bastards. Yep. Commie bastards.
Well, that's pretty much every person that's got a YouTube channel with guns on it.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, unbelievable. Oh, guys, this is why we launched the website originally, because we were afraid this may happen someday. You can also go to Twitter. I know nobody's there generally, but we are actually broadcasting to Twitter tonight. So go over to Twitter.
And I will say this about Twitter, Clay. If you guys want the most crystal clear viewing option of our live stream, Twitter is like, that sucker's in like super HD. It's awesome. Twitter.
Yep.
And that's what we're not getting rid of our Twitter.
By the way, and I left a little comment they probably won't like, but I was nice. I didn't get too mean because we got to be able to go live.
Yeah. So hey, man, we still got actually, Clay, for our live audience. It's about normal though, so appreciate everybody finding an alternative way to watch us. That's great. I appreciate you guys.
Like I said, you can go to Twitter and find us, just Guns in the 701 or Guns in the 701 is what it's named on there. And then, of course, Facebook, we still got, that's, as far as I know, that's still feeding because everybody's still commenting. We lost all our YouTube commenters.
I got 2 comments here. Blind guy, he got it. I'm glad you found it, brother. My cousin John, John, we're not on Rumble, but I think Clay posts the replay on there, don't you, Clay?
It uploads after we upload generally. And here's the thing with Rumble. There's nobody, unfortunately, there's nobody there, and they don't have a free side for live streaming. If we want to live stream, you got to pay basically either a monthly or a yearly subscription to live stream, and that's why we didn't do it.
We're already paying it for our website, right?
Yeah, we got our website, and we have this service that we broadcast on here with Restream. So there are a few bills associated with this, but
I mean, if you want to hear us live,
we're always looking for sponsors.
We got a new deal coming, don't we, Clay?
Well, we got Lauer Auto Repair down there in 309 South Washington Street, guys. He's our headliner sponsor. We want to thank those guys. They do great work. Summer is here. It's hot. If you haven't had your AC looked at, I would highly suggest it because it's only going to get hotter in the near forecast. So
I tell you what,
down there in Colorado.
I'm gonna play that commercial, Clay.
Yes.
And then we're gonna come back. We're gonna finish this up with Tobin because we're not quite done with this cat yet. And the 701 is proud to be sponsored by Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. If you can't stop by, feel free to give them a call at 701-258-6308. Doug and the guys are ardent Second Amendment supporters and will always shoot straight with service and fair pricing. It's been a long winter with lots of snow, ice, and rough roads, so now's the time to get that alignment checked from the curb shots, potholes, and bumpy snow-covered roads. Summer will be here before you know it, so get that rig scheduled for an AC charge. Make sure and tell the guys at Lauer you heard the sponsored Guns in the 701 and thank them for supporting and promoting our Second Amendment civil right. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota, 701-258-6308. Your North Dakota proud, patriotic auto repair service.
Absolutely. Yep.
Right
I
on.
love that commercial. And you ain't got to find greater guys in there. And yes, you absolutely know when you're doing business with them, you're supporting the right things. You're not supporting any kind of leftist ideology. So,
and guys and gals, make sure you go in there and do business with Doug and the boys. You mentioned that you heard about them on Guns in the 701, and you appreciate them supporting a show that supports your right. Not only supports your rights, Clay, we promote our civil right here.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's continue with this Tobin guy. Okay, Tobin made the case that while legislation and regulations are necessary, I tend to disagree with that. In the case of gun violence, as with all life issues, this really gets me. It's equally important to regulate our behavior, Clay, in order to prevent the vulnerable and ensure the common good. let me see here, Clay. Who made that phrase "for the common good" popular? I think Travis might have put that in the comments that I saw.
Well, we have a little man by the name called Karl Marx, I believe.
yeah. One of the biggest names in communism in world history, Karl Marx, for the common good. It sounds like Mr. Tobin's right on line with that. We got to regulate your behavior. You're out of line. Quit thinking you're individually, me boy. Get rid of that crap right now. So he says it's true that we have a Second Amendment right to bear arms. That's right. Not only just to bear, keep and bear, Tobin, but rights always involve responsibilities. Okay. In this case, the responsibility to provide the innocent and secure public safety and good order. The mass shootings we are witnessing almost weekly now are a serious threat to the lives and well-being of all people. They have nothing to do with how many 300 and some million people Clay didn't do a mass shooting, right?
Yeah,
including
exactly.
Everybody listening to the show.
You got to blame the less than 1% of the people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we got it right, but just give it up. Just give up your. How about this? You give up your right to Mr. Tobin. You give up your right to religion and free speech. Well, how's that on a trade for you there, buddy? Because I'll bet you're not taking that one, are you?
And Gene, he mentioned that here earlier in the comments when he was still,
he did. I did see that.
Didn't mean to step on you, Gene. He was ready to forego his free religion, but I know we lost Gene because he was on YouTube. I can see
he said he's on Facebook now, so I sent him a message back.
Good deal.
Yeah. Yep. So, okay, we'll go on a little further here with Mr. Tobin. The voluntary self-restraint that I'm calling for will not solve the problem of gun violence. Oh, wow, really? So you admit your own answers are going to do anything? AKs make for a better. Hey, Trav, stick around for the whole show today. You'll have something about your history, your AK. But it can help us change our culture for one that is obsessively focused on individual rights, guilty as charged I am, to a society dedicated to ensuring the common good. There it is again. He's mentioned that twice.
Oh, yeah, right? That's a favorite of them. That's all for the common good, common welfare. That's strictly a communistic Marxist type ideology. It just is.
Yeah, there you go. Gene, is the Pope going to give up his Swiss Guard? You know what the Swiss Guard carries? MP5 submachine gun, full automatic, with the big magazines they can stick in the bottom of them sweet babies.
Absolutely. And so they're going to give that up?
Yeah, they're not. I'll guarantee. No, not for him, Clay. He's important, because, real important people, they're always victim of violence way more than common people are, right?
Absolutely. It's rules for thee, not for thou.
Yeah,
always people.
So Tobin also cited Pope Francis' statement that violence is not the cure for a broken world. Can I give you a few examples, Clay, where violence was the cure?
Go for it. I bet I can name some.
Okay, World War I, World War II. We have multiple dictators all over the world. Benito Mussolini in Italy. Remember him hanging up there, El Duce, when they hung him up? You think they just were going to talk him out of power and torture and kill him?
I'm sure he was a reasonable man. You could sit down.
Yeah, Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein. You think you're going to talk Saddam Hussein out with you? Go over there and talk to him about it?
Hey, that's before the internet was so crazy, offensive. And I can remember that night I happened to be on my computer and I actually got to watch that. All of a sudden, I had this notification from one of the things I was following. Saddam Hussein going to be hung, and I clicked on it, and sure as hell, there it was. They were prepping and doing all that, and
popped his head off.
Showed that, and just boom, he was a goner. And of course, it wasn't
popped his head off. Remember?
It just left. I mean, it just
when they hung him, his head popped off.
They didn't actually show that part, but they did show him dropping. I just think that's. And so that was 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why I was up at 2 a.m. I always wondered that long
ago. I'm gonna finish off with Tobin here, and then we're gonna go to the origins of the evil assault rifle, Clay. Speaking of World War II. Okay, so Tobin finishes up here. Please join me in praying for an end to all instances of violence. I can get on board with that, especially gun violence in our schools, churches, places of business, and in the public square. Okay. Hey, I'm down with praying for an end to that, but that's not going to work, Tobin. You know what ends a lot of these mass shootings, Clay? A man with a gun doing some violence on the person who's killing innocent people. Right. So this guy, he might be a cardinal, but this guy's moral compass and reality is all off kilter here. So
I believe he's from Newark, New Jersey, if I remember right. I don't.
Yeah, he is from there. You're right. That's exactly where he's from. That's exactly where he's from.
Oh, I forgot to put my picture up. I even had a picture of the commie.
Hey, there he is. And hey, Clayton, you know what kind of person this dude is?
Nasty person.
There it is. There it is.
Hey, YouTube, you know what you are? Hey, YouTube, here's what you are too.
Nasty person.
There, got it in there twice. Thanks, President Trump. I appreciate your help.
Got nicked from YouTube.
Oh yeah, whatever, man. I don't know if you can't carry guns on YouTube. Every gun channel on YouTube, we're not even really. I mean, we're a gun channel, but not like gun guys.
There's some that I follow. Yeah, that's all they do is shoot guns. Like, oh, really?
Yeah,
it's in their intro. My guess is it's one of those snowflakes that.
Somebody reported something. Yeah. So whatever. Hey, like I said, we got a good live going right now. So and if you don't, yeah, make sure you get out there and share tomorrow once we get posted up our link to the podcast. Go ahead and share that with your friends. So all right, Clay, let's move on. We're gonna go on to the origins of the quote assault rifle, right? We always hear that from the media and from the gun haters, and
that's just for YouTube, all right? Commie bastards.
Those of you on the podcast, Clay's got the hammer and sickle up there in the red star. There. Pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet.
We're on a red. We're on the
red.
Yeah,
I got my red koozie. We're talking about Trump. We got the red hat, and all right, Clay.
Trump is Brenner. He says it was Larry.
yeah, it might have been. You never know. One of Larry's buddies. All assault rifles should be banned. Absolutely, Travis. Even the bolt action. Made another good
comment. He says, "Remember, Saddam got 99% of the vote in every election. Popular guy, right? Yeah.
He was more popular than Joe. Even that's crazy.
we have elections. I got all the votes. Huh? Amazing.
It's like Putin when he always gets a big part of the vote. I'm like, oh, really? Putin did too? Huh?
I was elected by everyone in the country. Well, yeah, they didn't want a bullet in their head.
He's got a great PR team, man. Right, Vladimir? Hey, we're going to talk about some of Vladimir's ancestors here shortly, aren't we, Clayton?
Yeah, I'll go break bread and drink vodka.
Okay. All right, so we're going to go through and kind of read a little bit of this, and just like we did last time, we're going to break it down after we get through a little bit, right, Clay?
Yep. So I'll put this up. This right here.
Yep.
There we go.
Right there.
It is.
That's a STG 44 Sturmgewehr, and Sturm in German is Sturmgewehr's rifle. Storm rifle, 1944. Which you'll see why when 44. When they say the names like that, that's when it basically started getting mass produced and invented here. Yeah. And that is the SVT 40 here. Which you're going to see why that rifle right there basically caused the Germans to invent this STG 44 Storm
precursor there.
Yeah, Storm rifle, which turned into assault rifle.
We have the MP44 right here.
Yeah.
And if those of you guys are watching, we can't hear it on the podcast, but if you look at it, yes, it does have a distinct look to it that actually emulates another gun that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, MP4 or the Schmeiser. So yeah, all right. So let's hit it off here. The German invasion in June of 41, which, if you remember, you know anything about history, Hitler said if we kick the door in, the whole rotten foundation is going to collapse on itself, which it started to, and they fell back. Germany pretty much rolled the Russians, got like 30 miles from Moscow and kind of camped out, and so we can take care of these guys anytime we want. We'll get them next week. Well, little did they know, Stalin and the boys were getting ready, and the Germans went backwards from there. But so faced with large numbers of Soviet troops armed with the SVT-40, which Clayton just showed you. Actually, Clayton, that SVT-40, you know what that looks like to me? Kind of a cross between like the Russian, I can't remember what they called their bolt rifle in World War II, and that and an SKS. Because the back of it definitely looks like an SKS.
It has that SKS look. Yeah. It really does.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's like a FUD semi-automatic looking thing to me, but I do like SKS rifles. The SKSs are fun to shoot. I like SKSs.
Gene asks, he says, was the original chambering 8x33? I can't tell you off the top of my head here. I don't. Yeah,
really I don't remember reading that anywhere. I'm not saying Gene's wrong.
I didn't see it in here when we were researching.
I did not either.
It doesn't mean that it wasn't.
We'll get into it. We're going to get into it right here shortly when I'm getting. So, okay. The Wehrmacht reported an urgent need for an automatic weapon capable of being carried and fired by a single soldier with the greater range and accuracy than machine pistols, which that Schmeiser was that you were showing there, Clay. The MP 38. Nope, that's SVT 40. Yeah. So yeah, there it is right there. You know what I kept thinking, the MP 38 you were showing?
Mm-hmm.
I keep thinking that's like the MP 40, you know, that little 9mm.
Yeah, it could be.
That they always show on Hogan's Heroes and that. But yeah, anyway, so I said the Wehrmacht, which is the German army, and the Luftwaffe was a German Air Force, and the Kriegsmarine was the Marines. Anyways, as a side note there. Analysts showed that most engagements on the Eastern Front, which is where the Germans fought the Russians, as it was called, basically the Eastern Front, took place at ranges between 200 and 600 feet, so 66 yards is about, and 200 yards. So any new weapon had to be accurate at the upper end of this range. German development contracts were issued in early 42 for an automatic weapon, which used the new 7.9 by 33 millimeter Kurz intermediate round. Kurz is short, means short in German. So like they say that with modern suppressors too, they call them a Kurz. I have a Kurz or a K. That just means that it's short, which it is a stubby little sucker, isn't it? Do you see that thing?
Yeah, I was looking at that. Yeah, it really is. By the way, we got an answer. Gene says that was the original chambering. He was asking about a modern chamber. And then Dan said, yeah, 8 by 33. And I figured we'd have some people here that knew. I honestly didn't remember reading that in this article, but
7.9 by 33. That's what I was just saying. But you can still buy this ammo. I'll tell you right now, you can buy it right now. It's out of stock where I just looked at Palmetto State Armory. Purvey Partisan, which I think is made somewhere over in like Yugoslavia or something. 7.9 Kurz FMJ 124 grain 20 pack. That sells for $1.25 a round. Yeah, it almost looks like a pistol round, right? I mean, it is called a machine pistol, but it says handgun line on it. But anyway, on with the story of the assault rifle. Unless you got something you got to read here.
No, go for it.
Okay, Serbia. There you go, Gene. Serbia. That's where they make Purvey part. I knew it was over there in the Balkans somewhere, but okay. So the German company CG Heinel Waffen produced prototypes of a new weapon, the MKB-42H, designed by Hugo Schmeiser. Schmeiser's name has now become most closely associated with the MP-38 machine pistol, which you were showing there, right, Clay?
Mm-hmm.
Although he had almost nothing to do with the design of that weapon, which I don't know. We're not gonna go off the trail on that. Prototypes of the MKB-42 were field tested in November 1942 and received very strong support from the Wehrmacht, again, the German army. The new weapon was fully automatic and provided with a distinct curved 30-round magazine. Oh, banana clip.
There. I just pulled up a round for you guys.
There it is, man. That's, yeah, okay. That
ain't a very good picture, but yeah.
That looks like a 200-yarder to me. So it weighed no more than a rifle and could easily be carried and used by a single soldier. More than 11,000 MKB-42s were sent for additional field testing in early 1943. The weapon is found to be reliable and accurate at ranges up to 900 feet, 300 yards, a vast improvement over existing machine pistols. So, yeah, I guess that thing, I mean, it doesn't look much. It looks a little bigger than the 9mm, I guess, but I guess the thing could go out there a ways, right?
Yeah, that's what they keep saying.
So then disputes between different departments responsible for the production of the rifle led to Hitler. Hitler got mad, stepped in, halted the work on a new rifle. Everybody loved it, thought it was great. I mean, hey, good thing Hitler's ego got in the way of things, right?
Yeah, that was the first, wasn't
it? Yeah. So the setback on the Eastern Front led to continuing demands for improved weapons, which, I mean, I've read a lot of history books, and the Germans swear they could have maybe even stopped the Russians with this, but I don't know about that. They were just so vastly outnumbered. But in June 1944, Hitler was finally persuaded to personally test the MKB-42. He was so impressed that he insisted it be immediately put back into production. Right? Okay. And too little, too late. Like a lot of things the Germans did, they made awesome stuff. They had great engineering, but man, they were just outnumbered in the resources. And Clay and I kind of had this talk: what was worse, the Russians or the Germans winning? But whatever. I mean, that can be debated for Yeah. So,
yeah.
Mein Führer, he liked dramatic sounding names, right? On a lot of his stuff. If you look at, go ahead.
Dan
Yeah,
just
read
he
that.
pointed out. He says it's shorter than what we were talking about, but basically equivalent to the AK 7.62 by 39, and you're gonna see why that's important as this goes. Of course, you guys probably know where this led to already.
Yep. I mean, we got some geek stat stuff, some tech stuff at the end too. We'll get into here, yeah. So he instructed that the new weapon be called the Sturmgewehr or the storm rifle, and which kind of morphed into nowadays like the military has the assault rifle. No, not an AR-15. Sorry, leftist. That's not what
Not what AR stands for. No.
Yeah. So more than 400,000 of these newly designed STG-44s, Clay, were produced in the last 10 months of World War II. It was almost like they started making jets too, and it terrified the Allied Air Force with these things. But I suppose when they seen these things too, they were probably like, "Wow, what's this? Pretty awesome." But yeah. So where was I at here? I'm losing my. Okay. The assault rifle.
The assault rifle. Yep.
Yeah, the assault rifle proved to be an effective and reliable weapon. Experience of bitter street fighting on the Eastern Front led to the production of it's kind of a weird name of this thing, Krumloff version. And this thing had a bent barrel to shoot around 30 to 45 degrees, which allowed to shoot around corners. Which I have seen this thing. I think it was like when remember when the Gunny had his show.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he shot one of these goofy things.
You're right. I think I remember seeing that on there.
You see that barrel and somebody tell me to shoot, I'd be like, But yeah, the bullet will bend around there and shoot around these corners. It's crazy. So,
that would have been kind of cool.
Yeah, as I said, introduction of the new weapon, it was too late to prevent the defeat of the Wehrmacht. The Soviets captured large numbers of these weapons when the war ended. The Soviets then used them to equip military and police units in East Germany. That's right. And STGs have been used by the PLO. Man, what were they called again? The PLO. I can't remember what that stands for. Hezbollah and surviving wartime examples were even taken from evil militia units in recent conflicts in Iraq. And GSG actually makes a sport gun of this thing, Clay. It's a 22. Cool. And they're pretty cool. Looks just like the dang thing. I mean, I don't have a hankering to buy one. GSG makes some good stuff, but so officers of the East German Volkspolizei, they use this thing in the 50s and 60s. And here's the thing. Here's the thing I like too, and then I agree with this. It's been widely claimed that the STG directly influenced the design of the AK-47, which Kalashnikov he vehemently denied that.
And we actually, you and I talked about that. Was he really the PLO? Oh, here, you're right. I think you're right, Gene. PLO, that was.
Yep. There you go.
Liberation Offense. That was Yasser Arafat. I remember that now. Yeah, their organization. Okay, there we go. See, we got great listeners. They know everything.
Yeah, I like it.
Quickly,
Palestinian Liberation. Kevin Gillis says,
there it is, guys. Your super tech guy here, Clay, got it for you right away.
Yeah, and
there it is. That's the bent barrel. That's the Krumloff.
And the magazine on that thing it's a 30 rounder, but it's ultra long. And the reason for that is because that thing was single stack. They didn't do double stack magazines back then that I'm aware of. They were pretty much all single stacks.
I can't imagine shooting that.
Oh, that thing scared me just looking at it. Yeah, it's got obviously piston operated. I can see the piston operated. But
I imagine those are mirrors on there so they could actually see around.
Yeah, to see around. That's exactly what it is, Clay. I mean, the U.S. military got a M4 like that. They can bend it around, but it's got a little camera you can see. I've seen. I don't know. I think I might have seen that on Gunny Time 2 or whatever it was called. But yeah.
Well, so those of you in the podcast, if you're listening, go check this out. It's kind of a cool looking gun. When we start talking about that particular gun, and we got a picture of it up there, and I might even get on our website and put one up. Just put a picture of it up. It's just kind of neat.
Yeah, and if you don't want to do that, if you've ever seen the movie Fury with Brad Pitt, where they're all in the tank there towards the end of the war, Brad Pitt's character is called War Daddy. Yeah, good movie. War Daddy's like not his sidearm, but the rifle he's got a 45 too, but his sidearm is the STG 44. Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, that's in the movie Fury, but, so yeah, anyways, we were talking about Kalashnikov before we get into too much, and we don't got a lot of techie geek stuff, but we'll finish out the story here with the development of this. So, the Russians captured Schmeiser and his boys, right? Hugo Schmeiser and members of his design team who had been captured by the Russians were forced to work at the same factory as Kalashnikov from 46 to 52, which that factory is still there. I've actually, if you remember on 2A Day when Brian was out, he had that black AK looking. That was actually made in Ishmash. Ishmash makes, they make really good, and that was a 223 chamber, but Ishmash is like where the AKs are made.
Cool.
And
I didn't know that.
That's in the Ural Mountains. And Kalashnikov, how long did they say he worked there? He was, man, I can't remember. But he did admit after the German design team, he said maybe in a later interviews when he was older that maybe they might have helped me out a little bit there, Schmeiser, and his, because he was just like the sole credit. They made it sound like he just made up the AK-47 in his garage, And when I see the STG 44 and I see the AK, I'm like, man, they just changed the design. I mean, that's the same gun to me, pretty much. They kind of, they stamped it and it.
I mean, you can tell it's a derivative. That's where the basic design come from when you look at it.
Yeah. Yep. So, it's they said that right here, Kalashnikov. After the German design team had been allowed to return home from Ishmash there in the Ural Mountains, Kalashnikov never produced another weapon.
Huh.
So he made the most popular rifle in the world all by himself, and the Germans might have helped him. And then when they left, he never made another one.
Never made another one. How about that? That's what you and I were talking about. That
or the Russians never made another one, not the Germans.
Did he actually ever? Did he do it, or did he have a lot of help? And I mean, if I would have been that successful, of course, he's under a communist regime, so who knows? But in our world over here, wouldn't you make another one and another one and another one? And at least file patents.
Yeah, and
they don't have that over there.
And like Clay, we were talking before the show. We can't blame the Russians for doing that with the German scientists, because our rocket program was Werner von Braun, I think was his name. He was the guy who built the rocket that took us to the moon.
And he was actual Nazi. There was, if you read the history on that, when people found out, they were pissed off because these Nazi engineers from the Nazi regime basically were brought over here to build our rockets and basically develop our space technology.
The Russians did the same thing. I mean, there was I can't remember where the rocket base was over there, but I mean, it was almost a race with the Allies and the Russians to get there and snipe up as many of these German scientists and design engineers as they could. And
they were smart.
Yeah, I mean, the Nazis were some evil people, bad people. They had to go, but I mean, man, the German engineering was a real thing with these people. They were smart. So we'll get into a little techie stuff here, just a little bit before we move on. Hit another commercial. So it was gas operated, locking breech, tilting bolt weapon capable. It was select fire, so it either went full auto or single shot is what it did. Clay. And 37 inches long with a barrel length of 16.5 inches, which I thought was interesting because that barrel length still to this day, 16.5 inches when you buy an AR-15 or anything like that. I mean, it's 16 and a half
still
inches.
Being used.
AK-47 barrel, still 16 and a half inches. I got my Ruger Ranch, the short barrel version. Guess what that is? 16 and a half inches.
And I've never really looked at my Mini 14, but I bet that's what that is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. And then a Mini 14 Ranch rifle, I think, is 18. So they just made it a little longer on that. But so the empty weight was 10.9 pounds, which is heavy. But you put the 30-round banana clip in there, and it went up to 11.6 pounds.
It's a Chiquita.
More often, the weapons users preferred to limit things to 25 rounds to avoid possibilities of jamming. I got to be honest with you, I still do that, even with my guns now. But I maybe go one or two under, even though, like Magpul says, no, you're good. Just crank them, stack them all the way in there. I always think with that spring compressed, I don't care what anybody tells me, when that thing smashed down all the way.
But and I don't leave them like that either.
Yeah. So the rate of fire, 500 rounds per minute. And what we were talking about the AK-47 comparison right here, 2250. That's about what an AK round goes,
Yeah.
Maximum effective range of up to 600 meters, which 600 meters is 656, 0.1 whatever yards. And other than that, I mean, there ain't much more tech specs to this thing. I mean, unless you want to really get bored and break this sucker down, which I don't, because we got other stuff to talk about. But that basically started the whole, assault rifle thing right there. Right.
Well, I think that's when the first time it was, like I said, it was termed. That's the first time that term really was used. To identify a certain firearm.
So I can't. What's the back side on that? Is that a notch? Because the front's got the same exact. To me, Clay, it looks like you
need a better picture.
Yeah, I want to say that's the exact same front sight as an AK. See,
sure looks like one.
Look at the rear sight too. It's the same. It looks like you got the same elevation and all that crap like they got in an AK.
Sure looks like it.
Sure
looks like it.
I'm just telling you, man. I'm just not buying that Kalashnikov invented the AK-47. I think the Germans did, and he stole the design. And they probably pretty much said, if you ever say anything otherwise, we're going to find your family and you, and you're going to wish.
Yeah, that's a little bit different over there. I mean, they don't have rights in the Constitution, and So I mean, this here, this is an AK. This is what came with my AK.
Banana clip,
right? Yeah. And of course, right there's the round. So it looks a lot. I mean, it's real similar.
Little stubby thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody just walked in on me.
Oh. Good thing. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, the AK-47, one of the most identifiable rifles in the world today, used by. I mean, it has way more recognition and use than any of ours.
Yep.
It just truly does. It is the weapon.
So many countries make the dang thing.
Yeah, and I mean, look how many different variations. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, they kind of stuck with that pistol thing where like the M16 and then later the M4 and whatever. They kind of went with the rifle cartridge, right, for a little longer range.
Yeah, for a little bit.
Within 200 yards, and it might even be like 150. And I think past that, then the 223 or 5.56 surpasses it. But because they did change. For a while, right? They went to the AK-74, which is a 5.54 by 3.9, or what was it by 5.5?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but it did.
But
it looks like that for a little bit.
It's like a 222 actually instead of a 223. So, but yeah, that was pretty good. So,
same, I got a 222. Most people don't even know that. A lot of people don't even know there's such a thing.
It
shoots the same bullet.
I've never shot the 5.54. One of you guys got to know what it is. What do they call the Russian 220? I always call it a Russian 223, AK-223, but it's not what it is. No. Anyway, Clay, let's do our other.
Let's thank our sponsors here. We got the Blind Guy and of course Colorado. So let's
here we go. Be right back. We're going to go into what are we going into, Clay? We're going to hit on 2A bullet points. There we go. Dan Brown, 5.45 by 39. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. The 701 is proud to be sponsored by Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. If you can't stop by, feel free to give them a call at 701-258-6308. Doug and the guys are ardent Second Amendment supporters and will always shoot straight with service and fair pricing. It's been a long winter with lots of snow, ice, and rough roads, so now's the time to get that alignment checked from the curb shots, potholes, and bumpy snow-covered roads. Summer will be here before you know it, so get that rig scheduled for an AC charge. Make sure and tell the guys at Lowry you heard the sponsored guns in the 701 and thank them for supporting and promoting our Second Amendment civil right. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota. 701-258-6308. Your North Dakota proud, patriotic auto repair service.
Guns in the 701 is sponsored by the Blind Guy of North Dakota. For all your custom window coverings, you can contact them at 701-222-3932. They're freedom-minded, they're patriotic, and they love the Second Amendment. This husband-wife team was born and raised right here in North Dakota and based out of Bismarck. Again, for your Second Amendment company, for all your custom window coverings, the Blind Guy of North Dakota, 701-222-3932, or visit them on the web at blindguynd.com. All right.
You bet.
And like I said, we can't thank our sponsors enough. We can't do it without them. Like I said, we got a few bills we have to pay as well on these.
Yeah. We're going to have to
doing
keep
this,
that
so-
one now to keep that live stream going on our website, I guess.
That's right. That's right.
Clay, one
So-
more thing I would add about the last story. I remembered that I've seen it a few times. Hitler brought one of his commanders back from the Eastern Front there in 44 and said, "What do you need to win the war?" And the guy produced an STG-44, and he said a whole lot more of these things.
And that's
So that maybe influenced his decision on top of, other than him just shooting it, like I said. And
I'm sure it did. I mean, I don't think he was in his right mind, as everybody kind of talks about.
well,
So,
he had Parkinson's and that at the end there, and
Yeah.
whatever. Too bad
All
he
right.
didn't just off himself before he even started the whole damn war, but whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
All right, Clay, let's get in these Second Amendment bullet points here. You want to go ahead and go first, buddy?
Sure. And I was going to lead with a different one, but turns out that I printed the wrong article, so I don't have.
Oh,
notes
yeah.
on it.
You want me to go?
But I got another one here. So
Okay.
And I actually, this one is just as unique. I'm sure you've heard of a 3D printer, right?
Yep.
And of course, you can print guns essentially. Hey, Vance, nice to see you here. I see you
Evening,
joining
Vance.
us from Facebook. We have been axed by YouTube at the moment. So anyway,
See you down. Have fun at the
Yep.
show.
yeah, let me know how it's going to be because we've been talking about going up and we missed it last year. So yeah, let us know how the music
Hey,
is.
Dan, we'll see you Saturday, actually, buddy. Dan's
Oh,
in the Prairie Dog contest down in Shields too.
Is
But
Dan
all right,
in there
Clay,
too? All right.
We're gonna
good deal.
hit that later. Go on
Yep.
with your story. I'm sorry.
No problem. So basically, what happened in New York, they want to make it a felony now to print guns or share the files. I mean, it's pretty much they're available about anywhere.
Mhm.
And so they're trying to pass a law. New York State Senator Brad Hoylman is sponsoring the bill. The Democrat, big shocker, says he wants to attack the manufacturer. That's his exact quote of 3D printed
Attack, huh?
firearms. It would not only make it a felony to print guns, but also would ban the intentional sharing of files. So, first of all, the intentional sharing. Who's going to define intentional sharing? I mean, if I have a file to print a 3D gun on my computer or on a drive, like a little jump drive, something like that, and someone takes it, did I intentionally share it? I would bet that Democrat would say I did, even though the person probably took it without my permission. So I mean, that's a red flag right there for me. It raises First Amendment concerns. Writings like the Anarchist Cookbook and the Guide to Build the Ludi machine gun have been determined to be protected speech. And this has been through the courts. And that's what I was going to get to. I think they're barking up the wrong tree here. I guess New York just can't get their butts whooped enough by the Supreme Court. They keep, they get beat and then they come back with something else and they get beat. And problem is that costs a lot of money to keep going to court.
Oh yeah.
This law was proposed only a few days before Ghost Gunner, that's a project that the Defense Distributed, launched its 0% pistol. The 0% pistol code allows the end user to mill out a Glock-style pistol on the Ghost Gunner 3S. The new product should hit the market soon. Defense Distributed produced the first 3D printed gun called the Liberator. And they named that gun after, we're kind of on our World War I and World War II kick. The Allies dropped over occupied France during the World War II, and that's what they called them. They called them the Liberators.
Single shot 45.
Yeah. I'd love to get a hold of one. And
I
just
would too. I mean, it looks like a piece of junk, but I guess it worked good. So
I mean, just the historical presence
yep,
of it.
you get the
alone.
back cock on it, and it just like an old dart gun, and it hit that primer on the 45. And
the founder of Defense Distributed, and they call it Distributed, Cody Wilson, he took issue with the new law and compared it to similar law in New Jersey. This proposed law is outrageously unconstitutional, clear violation of Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act of 1996. The point of law is to attack sites like DefCAD He says, that's fine. He says, we'll see you in court. Good luck. So he's planning to take this all the way. And good for him. I'm glad he's got the capability to do it and is going to do it essentially. Right now, I want to point out that under the current New York state law, gun owners can legally print a firearm, but the maker must immediately register their firearm with the state, according to state officials. How many do you think have been registered in the state of New York that people have printed?
About 10.
0. No one. None. I didn't even take. I didn't take just the article's word for it. I went and checked it out. Yeah, there's never been nothing I could find out there where anyone's ever registered a gun they made for themselves with the state of New York.
So going by Bruin's decision, Clay, which any gun control law has to be a historical precedence of gun control throughout the history of the United States. The founders and framers, I'll guarantee you, a lot of them boys made their own guns, and I've never read anything about people. Hey, tell you what, there, Tench Cox, you're not going to be building your own gun. We got to make that illegal.
Yeah, I would imagine when this goes to the courts, you're going to see a similar decision. And you got to remember, right now, all the cases I've been following, whether they're at district, whether they're at the appellate courts, different, all of a sudden they finally the light has come on since Bruin. And everybody's either getting them kicked back because of Bruin and saying, hey, we're returning this to the lower court. You better rethink this. Or they're finding in favor of the basically of the defendant. And that's a good thing. And they're using Bruin as that precedent. That was a huge case. And I keep telling everybody how big that was. People just have no idea how big that case was. What I think funny is in New York City Police Department, they were claiming that homicides by homemade firearms were up 75%. That's a big number,
so
isn't
if there was 2 of them and then another one or 3 of them and another one happened in the next year, that's up 75%, right, Clay?
Oh, well, here. I'll just give you the actual deal here. The number is misleading because the number of 3D printed guns used in crimes has increased significantly. The original number was so small that any increase would have raised it to a 20%.
Yeah,
since 2021,
so minute that
20 3D guns have ever been recovered from a crime scene, and not all of them were necessarily used in the crime. They maybe were being carried by an assailant, but it wasn't necessarily used. So 2021, 22, and now 23 halfway through. A whole 20 of them. So yeah, if you get like 5 more guns, whew,
yeah,
boom, 75% or better. I mean, come on, really?
Yeah.
So anyway, and how
Democrats love doing that. Oh my God, this looks brutal.
I'm wondering how they're going to do it. And they point this out. Stopping the proliferation of files is almost impossible. Most in the maker community are technically savvy enough and deeply understand how the internet works. Even if a site containing the files blocks all New York internet addresses, that's an IP address. Gun owners could simply bypass these blocks by using a VPN, guys. It's a virtual private network.
Yeah.
So that means it can bounce anywhere. You'll never know where the original.
Yeah, you can tell them. You
from.
can tell your VPN that you're over in Belgium and you're sitting in Mandan. They don't know.
So I mean, and I've used the Tor
that should be
browser.
banned. I don't like that.
And you can get on a Tor browser and probably find the same and download it. So I mean, they're not going to stop it. It's another stupid idea, stupid law that ain't going to do anything. So anyway, that's kind of was my. There's a little bit more here. It goes kind of in depth into the rulings and to why, but let's just put it this way. Firearms Policy Coalition is leading this charge. So far, everything's been ruled in their favor, and they expect a favorable ruling if this law actually passes. See, it hasn't passed yet, but if it does, they're going to challenge it right away. So that's that's one of my 2A bullet points. Probably my only one being I didn't print the right article.
Well, I got 2 of them. Hopefully this one I'm gonna try and keep it short, but hopefully I don't bore people. I'm not gonna bore the Glock fanboys. If you're a Glock fanboy, and I mean I like Glocks, especially Clay's 10mm. That thing's pretty sweet.
It's nice. It's a fun gun.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the quick rundown here. Glock aftermarket triggers here. The Glock standard trigger pull is 5.5 pounds, which is not bad, bad, right?
Yep.
That's for a pistol. That's pretty sweet. And one of the easiest ways you can improve your accuracy, rifle, pistol, whatever. I don't know about shotgun. Scott asked me about that once. I still haven't tried it, but yeah, is to change your pistol trigger. So I'm going to give you a few of these companies here if you want to do it. I mean, if you got any handiness to you at all, I've actually put one of the trigger here. The first one I'm going to mention is the Apex. I've actually put an Apex in my Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0. And I mean, I'm not a real handy guy, but I don't have two left thumbs either when I put my mind to it to get something done. And it did, I'll admit it did. I did throw out a few F-bombs when I was changing this thing, but it probably took me an hour, and it comes with a video, and I hate to say it, but if you got to look it up and go on YouTube, yeah, I mean, Brownhouse has a lot of stuff you can look up too for AR stuff. But anyway, first trigger you can go here. It's the Apex trigger for Glock Gen 3 4s. It's going to reduce your pull weight by 1 pound. And this thing I've seen as multiple colors. And so you're going to go from a 5.5 pound trigger to 4.5. That's about, it says MSRP at 85. Nah, I looked it up. Joe's inflation must have got a hold of the trigger market too, because that thing was up more like about 100 and 110. And so the next one, CMC. This is a CMC drop in. The CMC actually looked like it was the easiest one to put in, because if you're put a pistol trigger in a semi-auto, I'm not saying there's a lot of parts, but there's more than I like to see. And then CMC is, if you ask me, probably the best drop-in trigger for AR. So this one for the Glock, I think almost all these have like a flat face trigger too, which my Apex does have on my M&P. I didn't know if I'd like it. I think I like flat face triggers for pistols, but the CMC comes with a flat face. Doesn't say what it'll reduce the trigger pull to, but that MSRP is 119, and they got Overwatch Precision. Can't say I've never heard of them.
Yeah, I've never heard of that either.
I mean, yeah, 5-10. They say 5 to 10 minutes to do this thing, so I'm impressed with that. If you can do that in 5 or 10 minutes. That one's 100, and I kind of looked up, not all these, Clay, but like I said, the first one came in different colors. A lot of these do come in different colors, which is just cool. I like I'd put a red one on it just to, no pun intended, trigger the leftist when you got a red trigger. You got a Trump trigger on there. Timney, everybody's heard of Timney, right? Anybody who's somewhat into guns, and I've put Timneys in. I've AR triggers, bolt. Timneys make freaking awesome triggers. This is called the Alpha Competition for Glock Gen 3 4, and Timney says they're going to take this thing down to 3 pounds. You get a 3 pound trigger in your pistol, that's awesome. I got a 2.5, like I said, on that Apex on mine. That vastly improved my pistol accuracy.
Wow.
That was a good shooting pistol, and again, that one comes in 5 colors. The Timneys going here, they're probably about honest with this one. I looked at it, $170 they're saying for that, but man, if you want to shoot like bug holes at 20 yards with your handgun, that's you can,
a good trigger is
you're gonna need that. We got the velocity triggers, and that's gonna take, it says it's not gonna take it down below 5.5, but they claim it smooths it out and takes up some of the, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, the play or the uptake. There's different names for it. That's a flat face as well. And the last one's is Zev Pro flat face, and again, flat trigger, and they claim they're the most reliable replacement trigger. Super smooth. We'll see. $135 for that one. But so if you got a Glock and you're not totally happy with the accuracy, like I said, put a different trigger in there. I'm almost promise you that'll help you. If it doesn't, maybe get yourself a TARS judge or something.
Nice.
Yeah. So what do you got next year, Clay? I got one short one after this when you're done. I'm going to keep it short.
Well, and I can kind of talk a little bit about what I was going to. So in Hawaii, it's illegal to have a billy club or a baton outside your home. They consider that a dangerous weapon like any other firearm or knife, things like that. And Hawaii, guys, Hawaii is just that's a freaking socialist country all by itself. I mean, you can't hardly have a gun in Hawaii. It's it's pretty much impossible unless you're somebody. Then you can maybe get
Yeah,
something.
I mean,
But anyway,
you got to go through their massive checks, and you got to have a good reason. Yeah.
yeah,
Anyway,
it's worse to me. It's worse than New York, California, or Illinois.
Yeah, from a big warrior culture that they have there in their history of the islands, man, that blows my mind. But
well, and here's what happened is there's a couple guys, Todd Utake, I believe, is one of them, and a Justin Solomon, I believe, was the other two. They're basically bringing a case against Hawaii now and the Attorney General. Mm-hmm. And what they're doing is they're basing it. They're taking DC versus Heller along with Bruin and saying, wait a second, we have a right now to have dangerous weapons. They classified these as dangerous weapons under their own laws. So what they're saying is it's the same thing as a firearm now. It's going to be interesting. I think these two guys just want to antagonize the Attorney General in Hawaii, but I got to admire that.
Good.
And they're basically, their whole case and their premise is going to be based on those two decisions at the Supreme Court saying we do have a right to keep them outside our home and we can have them for protection. And since you guys classify them in the same class as a firearm, a dangerous weapon, then, or actually it's a deadly and dangerous weapon, then we have the right to use them in our own self-defense, and therefore it's a relevant case. I don't know. Maybe it's a stretch, but I'd like to see it, see what happens. It's definitely going to be fun to watch, and I just thought it'd be something that a guy should, I don't know, be a good 2A bullet point. I mean,
absolutely. So Clay, one more time, just real quick. I see Lori's got a Rumble instead of YouTube. You want to go run by real quick while we can't live stream to
Rumble? So Rumble, there is no free side to Rumble as far as being able to live stream. If you want to live stream as it is right now, you have to have a subscription, and it's either a monthly or a yearly subscription. And the reason we opted not to do that was because there was nobody there. There's still really nobody there. We have a channel there, but there's really no traffic on it much at all. We do when we upload videos. So like when I upload tonight, now I'll have to upload a video being didn't go to YouTube. We'll be uploading it into the video part rather than the live stream. Then it will automatically upload to Rumble. So if you go to Rumble, anything we've uploaded is there. Anything that we have live streamed is not, because that doesn't automatically upload again because we don't have a subscription, a paid subscription. So I don't know. I'm going to go check it out. We'll see what they got again.
And to be clear, our website, so we can live stream there, Clay, right? We're forking out $100 a month for that. So
yep. And that's so we can do this. And I don't know why I did that today. I was like, maybe
I'm glad.
I guess I had a premonition. I went ahead and upped it, and
we're going to just keep that, man. We're going to have to start pumping that because that just fries my freaking rear end that they did that crap.
And like I said,
I guarantee you some little turd freaking reported us for something because he knew they'd freaking block us, if not permanently, temporarily. And they knew, hey, it just so happens that tonight, Clay, we've been almost going close to a year doing it, and all of a sudden now we can't show guns in our intro. KMA, I mean, come on.
Yeah, like whatever. I will tell you though, guys, it is on Twitter, so find Guns in the 701 on there, and you'll be able to.
Yeah, and I said before, Clay can vouch for this. Twitter's feed on there, man. That is ultra clear. I was shocked how clear it was.
It's clearer than anything else.
Yeah.
They do have that part of it's good, but
I wish most of our fans here and supporters would be on Twitter, because we could get away with a lot more stuff, and there'd be a lot of fun.
I'll be honest, I'm not on there that much. It's a different platform. It's a sea of liberals still, as far as people that use it.
Even if we put videos up there, that will get 5,000 views on YouTube. I'll put it on Twitter and it'll get 3. It's
or none.
Or none. I mean, I don't know why people go there just to get pissed off and read politics instead of whatever. That's a whole nother. Okay. So I got one more 2A bullet point, Clay. This is a real quick one. It's just kind of a PSA here. Taurus has learned that some of its GX4 pistols assembled and sold in the United States may, under certain circumstances, discharge when dropped. For that reason, the company has issued a safety notice urging owners to safely unload and stop using their GX4 immediately. They should then visit gx4safetynotice.com. The gun serial number can be entered on the web page to determine if it is affected by the safety notice. The serial number is located on the rear of the pistol, and after a fast search, instructions are provided on how to proceed if the firearm is included. Owners of GX4s not part of this notification will also be informed it is safe to continue the use of the pistol. Another option is to contact customer service, Taurus customer service, by calling 229-515-8464 or through the Taurus USA website. Enthusiasts who prefer the internet option can submit a service request here to learn if the firearm is included. Letters can be submitted. Wow, okay, you do that one.
Still taking letters, huh?
Yeah. Can be submitted to Taurus International Manufacturing, 100 Taurus Way, Brainbridge, Georgia 39817. Taurus will inspect, repair if necessary, and return GX4s affected free of charge. Purchasers of a GX4 who no longer have the pistol are encouraged to forward this to the current owner. We understand this is an inconvenience to you. Thank you for your patience and cooperation.
Yeah, and that's important that it's you give the USA address, guys. Don't look online and get Taurus's address and send it down to Brazil. That's not going to be good. You'll never see it again. So it's got to come to the one in the United States, Taurus USA.
Yeah, like it says, the Taurus USA website. So if you look it up, don't just go Taurus, go Taurus USA. It's Taurus. If you get on there and it says Brazil, you're on the wrong website.
And you don't want to do that, especially with what's going on down there.
Hey, yeah, especially what's going on down there. Higher gun control, which higher homicide rates going back up. All right, Clayton.
Imagine that.
All right, so two bullet points over.
Give me 1 minute here.
Yeah, go for it.
So for everybody again, I think you can see this, can't you now? Here.
I can. It's a little small. There you go.
I'm gonna turn the chat off. So yeah, right there, guys. Here it is again on the GX4. Again, the phone number is 229-515-8464. And of course, you can request support at support service request by email or by U.S. mail. Like I said, Taurus International Manufacturing Incorporated, 100 Taurus Way, Bainbridge, Georgia, 39817. So I think I'm going to try to take this and put it up on our website too.
Yeah,
that way,
do it.
Just hit friends or boy, I did that for so many years. And just hit guns in the 701.
Yeah.
Gosh, it tells you just how ingrained that was in my head all them years.
Oh yeah. All right, Clay. Let's kick it off with your new intro to Clay's COMMIE companies here.
This is Clay's COMMIE companies of the week.
There you go. Russia's national anthem, if I'm guessing correctly there, Clayton.
Yes, it was. USSR, actually.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're right. Yeah, USSR, yeah.
There's a ton of companies out there that actually, and I'm going to put this up quick. Like I have these links. If you want them, they're on here. Just hit your pause when you go replay this. I might even try to put those up on our links on our webpage.
Yep.
But these will take you to basically businesses that prohibit guns. You got concealedcarry.com, you got bizconcealedcarry.com, and then wideopenspaces.com. All three of these places I found. I was just curious what's out there. So there are some websites out there. And like I said, if you need them, I can get them to you as well. But the winner,
or if you don't want to, just tune into Guns in the 701.
That's right.
And let Clay clue you in here.
Because I think I'm going to try. Well, we're going to do this.
That's what I recommend.
So here's the winner. We need a drum roll.
There you go. Yeah.
The winner today is.
Oh, you got the hammer and sickle next to it too.
I have the Anti-Second Amendment Buffalo Wild Wings. Now I told you a long time ago. Remember that? And these guys. Yep. And I did. I might have edited their picture a little bit.
I think it looks good. Nice work.
And it's because of their concealed carry ban. It makes Buffalo Wild Wings the Commie Company of the Week. I even added a little hammer and sickle up there on their building. And had a little fun.
Two of them.
So
Either
yeah,
side
one
of
on
it.
each side. I had to balance it
Perfect.
out. So if you want to go see it, just tune in and check it out basically on Facebook. Once I get it uploaded to YouTube, you'll be able to see it there. And you'll be able to see our Commie Company of
Love
the
it.
Week. So
Love it.
I did a little research too again today. I knew that Bismarck had done this a while back. So Buffalo Wild Wings did this, and they actually did it in 2009. Started doing this across the country. They were leaving it up to each individual franchise. You know, they backpedaled quite a bit because they got a lot of pushback when they did it. So out of curiosity, I called both locations in Bismarck today. I didn't even know there were 2 locations till I looked it up on the website. And I called the one down there in the south part there. I don't even remember where it's. I'm not going to give where it's located. The hell with them guys. And I asked the question to supposedly who was the manager. Well, evidently she wasn't the manager. She said, well, and I said, do you guys still have a ban on my Second Amendment rights in Buffalo Wild Wings, which is to conceal carry, even if I have a permit, into the restaurant? She goes, well, I guess I'm not sure, but you wouldn't want to keep that. You wouldn't want to do that anyways. I said, well, yeah, I would. I said, I don't trust anybody. I said, I know I can defend myself better than anybody else. So I just want to know why you want to infringe on my rights. I don't get it. Oh, you'll have to talk to the manager. I said, well, I thought you were the manager because that's what I asked for first.
Yeah.
So then I get a manager. And so the lady, she gets on there. She goes, well, sir. She goes, that's what we were told to do by our boss. I said, well, I thought you were the boss. Aren't you the manager? Well, that comes down, I don't know. They must be a conglomerate somewhere else, which doesn't surprise me. I go, okay. She goes, and that's what my boss told me to do. I said, I said, what if you don't do it? She says, I'd probably get fired. So I said, if your boss asks you to jump off the bridge out there on the Missouri River to your death, would you do it because you don't want to lose your job? Well, that's a different issue. Well, not really. I said, what you're asking me to do is leave my firearm in my car, basically opening up the even a more presence that I may be killed, and just because your boss said so you don't lose your job. I said, I kind of equate it the same way. She hung up on me, so that's fine.
Wow, the manager did it in Buffalo Wild Wings South.
Yep,
hung up you know on she is, don't you?
Nasty person.
Yeah, there you go. Nasty person.
Hey, we got Troy. He loved the intro there you had at Blade Rain TV. Hey, brother, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it, man.
You got to find us on Facebook tonight, like everybody else.
Yeah. In case you missed it, we got sniped on YouTube tonight because I guess you can't carry guns around your intro video to your live stream. So
that's what it said in there, which we've been playing for a year. But I guess
I'm gonna let Clay's a master blaster with YouTube. I'll let him handle those guys. So
Bruno Pizza doesn't have a no Beretta sign, and so. I did, and I have not been to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, because that's what the no gun signs are. There's a Beretta M9 on there.
And here's what Buffalo Wild Wings was putting on their doors. And I can remember seeing one of these in Bismarck when I was still a rep. It alerted me, and I went in there and actually, kind of let them have it about it. And I said, well, you wouldn't even know. Back then I said, you wouldn't even know if I was carrying. Well, no. I said, so what's the use of your stupid sign? I said, so what you're telling me is that Buffalo Wild Wings is going to assume all of my personal responsibility and safety. And then if someone comes in and actually kills me because you took my right away, then my family can sue Buffalo Wild Wings, right? Because you assumed all the liability. They didn't. They just
should.
Blank looks.
I mean, what good's that going to do you anyways? If you're going to use your damn gun, what do they care if it says no guns allowed? You can't talk common sense this crap.
Troy Howard, he says he's still got my party box from 280. No problem. Just sometime here in Bismarck, drop it off with James.
Oh, all right. So anyway, you know what time it is?
That's my Commie Company of the
Love it. I love it, Clay. That was great. Okay, we got one more thing here, so here it is. Oh, yeah, baby. Happy ending of the week.
Every time I still love it as much as the first time.
All right. So last 2 or 3 weeks, I think it's come from Tejas, right, Clay? But this week we're going to go to Medford, Oregon. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of commie companies up in Oregon.
Oh yeah.
But okay, this is a short one too here. So, 2 armed men broke down the front door of a home at about 2 a.m. on March 17th in Springfield, Oregon. It says Medford, but whatever. Springfield's in the story. The resident, however, responded to the break-in with his firearm and fired multiple shots at the intruders. The suspects fled in a vehicle but were quickly taken into custody. Both were transported to the hospital for treatment of multiple gunshot wounds. Once released from the hospital, they faced charges of robbery, burglary, and unlawful use of a weapon. The homeowner was not charged. Usually the happy ending ends a little happier than that, but I'm glad that this homeowner used his Second Amendment rights to have a happy ending, that he didn't get shot, they got shot.
Yep, absolutely. And they don't always have to die. I mean,
no,
sometimes it's better, but yeah.
Is it?
No comment. Oh, wait a second. I think better ask this guy right here.
Yeah, better ask.
Nasty person.
He's flipping people off there with his finger in that picture too.
Oh, he is.
Look there. Oh, if you're catching the end of it, that was the first, the second thing we went over there. A cardinal said you got to give up your Second Amendment rights
voluntarily.
Voluntarily give them up for the common good, like Karl Marx always said.
And Gene needs a bigger gun.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Next time, play a lung blower.
So I guess we need to probably. Oh, here we got. Hey, Buffalo Wild Wings. This is from Blake. Oh, here, I'll just put it up there. Buffalo Wild Wings. They need to read the reciprocity for North Dakota. They don't observe the signs unless I miss something else. I missed the conversation, so I'll go back and listen. I go everywhere with my concealed. And I'm not sure if they still have the signs. I know back, and you're talking over.
I don't think I've seen them at the north one, anyways, Clay. That they put that one up there if we go out. I mean, I don't see them there, but I mean,
I know Sanford Medical does, or Sanford the hospital.
Oh yeah, so the Bismarck City building.
And I can tell you right now, that the south one did have them when this first happened. Like I said, this one 2009.
Oh yeah, it used to be there.
And
I'm not sure if it's there. I'm gonna look next time.
It might not be, guys. They might have took them down. But when I called both of them facilities today, they both were very adamant that yes.
Yeah, well, I disregarded their signs with extreme prejudice. Anyway,
I don't listen to them either. The hell with them guys. I just don't go in there. And it kind of leads up to, and I kind of forgot to mention this, that Buffalo Wild Wings loves what else? They love to have sports programs on all their TVs. Well, what do most sports teams do anymore? With the exception, I know, like the Texas Rangers, they don't like the Second Amendment anymore than Buffalo Wild Wings or any of these other leftists, or probably that group out in Colorado we're going to talk about on one of the shows coming up.
Yeah, Mitchell show Friday.
But so, I mean, there's just no reason to go into Buffalo Wild Wings. Now, I don't know what Rings and Wings is like. I've never been in there. I don't know if they have a policy like that or not, but
I've never seen a sign up there.
So
I haven't looked at their. Yeah, Gene, what about Kroll's? I don't know if Kroll's has a sign up, but Kroll's Diner, verification personally. They invited Gabby Giffords up here. Marty Beard and I, Marty's nephew Jake, and a couple other guys. This is 10, 12 years ago anymore. I think it was 10 or 11. Yeah, 10 or 12. I don't remember, but yeah, they invited her in. They said she wasn't coming here. The Kroll's Amanda, and she was there. We were there. TV was there.
I can give you a little update. Maybe
I haven't eaten at Kroll's since, and I can honestly tell you that.
But I don't want anybody to go there, so I'm going to say it now. Laughing Sun Brewery in Bismarck, they are anti-gun. They are Democrat to the core and leftist.
Oh, yeah.
That was probably one of the worst conversations I ever had was with the owner, and I believe they don't they own Huff Hills too, or live out in Huff?
They're friends with the owners there.
Okay,
yeah,
but I didn't realize it till
I will say I used to ski at Huff all the time back. I never heard Jim or Andy or anybody say anything anti-gun, but whatever. Go on, Clay.
But I mean, that's when we were trying to look for new sponsors and donors for the Friends of NRA banquet that was taking place in Bismarck. I went in there to ask. I personally went around as well, and holy crap, did I get an earful. They didn't realize I was the rep. I was just asking,
support.
And that guy went off on me. Of course, that didn't last long. And I finally was like, well, I am the NRA rep. So I said, you don't know what the anyway, you don't know what you're talking about. I almost let it slip.
Any flim flam.
Yeah, flim flam. Yeah, and I mean, I let him have it, and he pretty much told me never to come back in there. I said, not a problem, you commie bastard. And I walked out.
Hey, man, you should have saved that for next week's Clay's Commie Companies.
Oh, there's a couple others in Bismarck that way too.
I'm glad Axe told us about Bruno's, man. The guy who owns Bruno's, I want to say his name's Brandon. Somebody told me this. I think he's I could be wrong. So I think he played football out at Marion. He used to bowl, and a buddy of mine actually mentioned that. And I think the guy's he's one of us. So he probably doesn't care. I'm gonna have to find out. I'm gonna have to verify that. But
I guess next time I'm up
there,
there,
they got good pizza there too, and decent beer prices. Yeah,
I usually go to A and B. They got good pizza, but we'll go hit Bruno's and go support somebody that we know probably where they buy.
Man, sponsorship opportunity.
There we go. Yeah. By the way, anybody wants to sponsor, we're ready to take you on as a sponsor. And
Blade Rain. If Blade Rain's still listening, what do you recommend for mule deer for your put some supplements down? Because I know he mentioned something once before. I mean, we get actually, man. I saw like 3 whitetail on our land last week when I was up. I was shocked.
Really?
Yeah, they were tiny, but
I've seen one.
The muleys still look like they just come off the tundra too.
The muleys still look rough. Yeah, they do down here too.
Yeah. There you go, 2 for 1 beers, Alex. Man, I'm going to meet you down there on Friday for lunch sometime.
Hey, Troy. Good. Yeah, glad you were listening in. I'm going to be there Saturday with these guys too. So let's talk a little bit about that. Well, first, let's get on Friday. We're of course going to do Mitchell in the morning. I think I got that new one up here. I think I do, don't I?
There you go. Todd will be. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Mitchell in the morning, of course.
Boy, I'm a handy Central. Gun there, ain't I?
Oh, heck yeah. 7:40 a.m. Mountain Time on 550 radio, AM radio, and then of course we always are on iHeart. And honestly, that's when I broadcast live generally if I'm here, and I broadcast that live right to our live feeds, so you can catch it on www.gunsand701.com, Facebook, or maybe who knows, maybe we'll be back on
Ticker's going either way, man. Ticker's going either way on the bottom. The sponsors rolling, baby.
They are. I turned it off here a little bit ago so I could show you my graphic.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we're going to talk a little bit about, of course, the new poll. We'll have a new poll up by then, so be tuned in for that. I think we'll probably try to get a subject up there by tomorrow, and Jamie will post it up there by Thursday, Friday. And
by the way, everybody who participated in the poll freaking kicked ass this week. We got all kinds of participants. Appreciate you guys for doing that.
And if you guys got a poll idea, let us know.
Yeah.
We'd be more than happy to put something.
Yeah, you got you can contact Clay or me right there, right below our picture. That's where you guys get a hold of us.
gunsand701.com or JD@gunsand701.com. Excellent. If women don't find your hands, but at least they should find you handy. There you go. Show.
Yeah. So what's that main topic we're hitting on Todd's show, Clayton?
Oh, what was it again?
Remember the Colorado.
We're going to go here for kids. And they are. Well, you want to talk about a commie group. I went out under their website.
Insane.
Oh, my God.
They're insane.
These people are nuts.
You don't think insanity's out there coming for your guns, tune in Friday, right, Clay?
They wrote an executive order. I'll give you a little teaser to give to the governor to ban all guns in the state of Colorado. Every single gun in the state of Colorado. Have the government buy them back. First, you have to have be a willing seller.
Force you. You don't have an option to keep.
Don't have an option.
And they'll give you you'll take what we give you, peasant.
Yep, and after a 30-day grace period, if people still have them, then they a big, large fine and throw them in jail. It's like, wow.
So, Clay,
one of their reasons is because guns are racist. So tune in for that because you don't want to miss that.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Second Amendment is according to them.
Yeah.
Even though anybody's an American citizen and legally own guns doesn't matter. Right. And if you think this is just a few little speckle of people showing up, no. Thousands showed up for this. They
Did
showed
they?
up.
I didn't see who showed up on the 5th, but
there was a couple thousand of them showed up for this. So
well, that was a
So-
far cry from the 25,000 they wanted, so that's good to hear.
Yeah.
But still, it's
Colorado ain't that far from here.
no, it's not.
I mean,
Too much
Colorado.
dope.
Yeah.
Gene says too much dope in Colorado. So,
Yep, there's too much. Well, dope,
And then-
leftism, same.
of course, we come up and why don't you lead us into this here? Or what we do
Yeah,
on
so
Monday?
every Monday, 11:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Clayton and I are on In the Crosshairs with host Jay Dillon. You can catch that live on KFYRplus.com. That's KFYR TV's live streaming, new live streaming site. And Clay's, we simulcasted that too, right, Clay, last week? Clay's audio cut. Maybe he's going live and I can't hear him, but yeah, we simulcast that on our Facebook page, and you can check it out on there. I'm not sure if Clay's doing it on our website, but
I'm planning to. Well, the website. If we go through and I'm able to live cast, it'll go to the website.
KFYR is actually talking about jumping on using Restream. So, but yeah. If you guys want to catch last Monday's show, you can go on Facebook and catch that. I don't know if Clay put that on our website yet, but it's definitely on our Facebook page. You can watch it. I thought it was a pretty good show, actually, Clay. We had some good info on there.
And it is all loaded up. I believe I think I saved it and it worked.
Okay.
So one of the topics we are going to be talking about, of course, we'll be talking about the poll a little bit more on there. But we're going to touch on a school resource officer. His name is Scott Peterson. And basically, he's going to face trial for negligence in the Parkland shootings. And when you hear what we have to say, probably rightfully so. This man, as far as I'm concerned, he's a coward, and he deserves it. Yep.
Big time. How anybody can sit by when shit like that's going on is
coward.
I'm not saying you can't be scared, man, but it's your job and you gotta do something.
Well, he got paid $100,000 a year.
I couldn't believe what he got paid.
And it's like, but he's close to retirement age, so you wrong guy.
Retirement. I can't go in there and maybe get shot.
I'll be honest. If I was hiring a school resource officer, I want a pretty fresh out of the military man.
I agree with you, Clay. It ain't gonna be some dude. If I look at him and think, man, if you got to run somewhere, you're not getting there. I want somebody.
I want a veteran that has seen combat and just pretty much gotten out. Yeah, absolutely. That's the guy I want.
Yeah, I want a guy who I know, and if it gets close and he's got a tangle with him, he ain't gonna get his ass kicked. Right. He's gonna choke slam the dude and take care of him. Yeah. I agree with you, man. There should be some kind of age limit on that, or at least a physical fitness test or something. So
absolutely, yeah. This guy, he just like I said, tune in on Monday morning, and like I said, that's 11:30 Mountain, 12:30 Central. KFYRTV.com.
No, KFYRplus.com. Or Guns in the 701 on Facebook.
That's right. Well,
and don't forget
YouTube.
Yeah, check YouTube out too. If you're a YouTuber, if you're a commie tuber, go ahead and check that out. We'll probably be back on, but you never know. And don't forget Saturday, we're in the Prairie Dog shooting contest. Doug and I are a team. Axe and I are a team. We're a sponsor from Lauer Auto Repair. We've got the safety meeting at 8, and we're heading to the Dogtown at 9. Clayton's going to be down there too. I'm not sure when he's going to pull a live off. We were going to try it on YouTube, I guess, but maybe not. You might be doing it on Facebook. I don't know if you're doing it.
It'll be interesting because I can go live from my phone directly through YouTube. So who knows? Maybe it doesn't broadcast anywhere else, but
we'll see.
What? We'll have to see.
Yeah, there's gonna be a live somewhere from down in Shields at the safety meeting. If we have service, yeah. And then Clay's gonna do some video, and we're out doing the Dogtown. And after that, when it's over, they got the gun raffle down there and the steak fry. Clay's gonna be talking to some guys about shooting prairie dogs and just getting the vibe from everybody how it went. And so
I'm actually gonna try to do a few interviews, and if that works out, then hopefully we can put those, maybe load them up onto our YouTube channel or Facebook and kind of let people know what it's all about.
Don't carry a gun. Freaking YouTube.
Oh, I tell you, yeah.
Well, hey, man, but we still, like I said, we had a good live crowd tonight. Appreciate that. Make sure again, tonight's a perfect example. Tell all your friends who like our show and our live stream. Get on our, let them know about our website. Get on Twitter. Facebook hasn't done anything, so you get them turned on to this. And of course, if they miss that, you can go on iHeartRadio or iHeart.com and download the podcast, because right after the show, Clay does his magic there and he uploads it to iHeart and not just iHeart. We recommend iHeart because that's who we're on with iHeart and KFYR on Fridays, but it's on any podcast you listen to.
It goes to what is it, 8 or 9? I don't know. It goes to a lot of places.
More than that, even. Yeah, basically every RSS puts it out to any podcasting platform.
And if you want in, and I'm going to
share the shit out of it.
We got to give a shameless plug for this. So that is our new raffle gun.
I want some home cooking.
There you go. For the Grant and Sioux County, North Dakota Farm Bureau chapter. This is a Noreen firearm. Very nice gun. Guys, you can't buy, I think retail these guns are right around $3,000 if you had to buy one right now. This is an AR-10. This AR-10 is chambered in a 30-06, and if you look at it, it didn't show up real good in this picture, but there's stainless steel plates in there.
Yeah, it's nice.
In the deal, as far as in those crevices that are really, really sharp. What we did was we tried to keep this simple but usable. And $20 a ticket, guys. When they're sold out, we'll draw the gun. Usually it's by the Grant County Fair time, which is middle of August. But if they're not, then we will keep selling and go all the way to the end of December before we draw. Now, we took all the bluing off, and we had a different idea, but honestly, it did not look good. So we went back to a black Cerakote. So this is a black Cerakoted Noreen AR-10 with stainless steel engraving done by A&A Engraving down in Rapid City, South Dakota. The picture don't do it justice, guys, but this is a nice gun, and it's a 30-06. And hey, it's a hunting rifle, right?
Yeah, 30-06 hunting rifle.
And I'm telling you right now, those babies, those are a top AR. They really are.
You know what you are if you don't buy a raffle ticket for that thing, Clayton?
Nasty person.
Nasty person. Oh my goodness! So Axe has one up. I get the right one. Oh no, I gotta get. It's hard to see this.
I haven't had wings at Bruno's, but the pizza's awesome.
Axe says it's max hardness unlocked and achieved.
Okay.
It is. It's a nice firearm. It really is, guys. And it comes with a case. A&A Engraving put the protective sleeves. It's got a nice sleeve on it that protects all that engraving.
But it's awesome. You showed me some close-ups. It was nice craftsmanship.
Without being, unlike nickel plating and gold plating and things like that, which them are durable but eventually, after a lot of use, they're going to show the use. This really won't. It's a Cerakote along with.
Hopefully, I can give you a report on it in a few years.
Yeah, there you go. And the tickets are done. I'm going to try to pick them up, I think, on Friday when I go through Lemon. And but if you want, email me at clay@gunsanda701.com, or if you know me, text me, and I'll start putting your names down to get you tickets. Right now, I've got pretty much 100 tickets already spoke for. So if you want them, there are 400 left. That sounds like a lot, but we sold 400 tickets last year, and we were out within like 3 weeks. So keep that in mind.
Keep your fingers crossed so Axe and I win this tournament down there.
There you go. Then you can buy a whole bunch.
Aim small, miss small, baby.
There you go. So thanks, Kevin. Yeah, it is a nice rifle. Matt Simon said, I lost you in the YouTube feed, found you on Fascist Book. We'll have to catch the replay. Yeah, we got nixed there early because and when I looked it up, it told us that because we showed handling or carrying firearms in our intro. Yeah. We've been using that intro for how long?
Yeah, almost a year, about 8 months.
I did that. I disputed it, so we'll see what happens.
Matt, quick info for you. You can get us on www.gunsandthe701.com and on Twitter. And I'll say it again for the third or fourth time. Twitter has the absolutely clearest freaking feed we got. So
they really do.
That's because nobody's watching on Twitter. So check it out,
all
brother.
Right.
Appreciate you checking in, Matt.
We still got caps, guys. I think there's a few of them still.
We're gonna have to order some more, Clay. We're gonna talk because I got some are getting sold here. So yeah, they're going.
We are planning to have a few things. If you're gonna be at the Shields Prairie Dog Shoot down there at Shields Bar when they have their meetings, we are gonna be there and we'll have some stuff. So yeah, Sounds good. Oh, Axe says been told Dogtown numbers are down. Every dog counts. Huh?
Man, I've been told the opposite, so I guess we're.
I don't know what to tell you. The towns I know south of
Dougie
me.
talks to a lot more people down there. He gets funneled all the people watching Guns in the 701 go down there and get their cars worked on. So
There you go. Matt says he's not on Twitter. YouTube wouldn't show me the live feed, only the archives. But no doubt another great show. Appreciate that, Matt. Yeah, go catch the replay. And like I said, I will actually download the full episode here with video and sound now because I can do that. And then I'll just upload it. It just will not be in the live feed on our YouTube channel. It will appear in the video section of that. So just so you guys know. With that, I don't have anything else. I think we had a
I
good
don't
show.
either, Clayton. Everybody, thank you for hanging in with us tonight. It was awesome. You guys are great. We had a little problem there right away with the YouTubes, but thank you, Matt. And hey,
like I said, if you want a ticket on this gun, just get a hold of me and we'll make it happen.
Yep. And we'll see you Friday, 8:40 a.m. Todd Mitchell in the morning, KFYR 550 a.m. radio. And then Saturday morning, Clayton's going to be going live from down Shields, North Dakota.
That's the
Axe
plan.
Axe and I are going to be, if not in the morning, at some point during that day. We got the Prairie Dog shooting team down there. And then Monday, KFYRplus.com at 11:40 a.m. Mountain, 12:40 p.m. or 12:30, my bad, 11:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m. Central on KFYRplus.com on In the Crosshairs with Jay Dillon.
Absolutely. So, all right, guys, thanks again for tuning in. I know summer's getting here, and it's probably a little harder to sit inside, but we do appreciate all of your support. And like I said, if you need any swag or you want to get some gun tickets, just let us know.
Yeah.
And again, I always want to thank our sponsors, Lauer Auto Repair down there on South Washington, as well as the Blind Guy in North Dakota. And you can check him out, blindguynd.com. So with
share all of our stuff, guys. Anything, memes, whatever you like, you share them. Anything to get that message out, we appreciate it.
All right, sounds good. Again, thank you, everybody, and as always, keep your powder dry. We're gonna need it. We'll see everybody next week, and we'll listen in on Friday on 5:50 a.m. radio with Todd Mitchell in the morning.